Hello YouTube, and especially my most recent subscribers. I am Half Man Half Amazing, and this is my second video here of my channel, and the last video of 2014. This is December 31st, 2014. Next year is upon us, 2015, and it should be really exciting here for the YouTube Nation, especially my channel. I'm very excited about that. Thank you for all the support that I've been receiving here from a lot of my subscribers. Especially you, ETA Nick, here for the shout out here on your last video. Very much appreciated, my man. Thank you very much for that. A few things I'll go over here in this video. Just basically talking about my origin story. Not going to bore you with a lot of the details, but tell you in regards to what got me into collecting in the first place, and show you a few books here in the process. So, first thing is explaining my name, Half Man Half Amazing. That is due to the huge love I have for my favorite character, the Amazing Spider-Man. So, Half Man, Half Amazing, The Amazing Spider-Man. Alright, you guys can figure it out, right? Started collecting here. Well, what got me first off into comic book collecting was the cartoons I used to watch here in the 80s. Watching The Incredible Hulk cartoon, reruns of Spider-Man, The Amazing Spider-Man, Spider-Man His Amazing Friends. I mean, I watched a lot of cartoons, but the comic book cartoons, even going way back here to this old Superman, 1940s, 1950s Superman, Batman from '66, not even cartoons, but comic book characters in general just piqued my interest here. I love the mythology of it. I love the history of the comic book. So it didn't take a whole lot once I heard that Superman was going to die in Superman number 75 back in the 90s that I wanted to obtain that book. Didn't own a book here up until that point. So what I did is I was actually one of the victims here of the 1990s crash. Picked up as many books as I could. Didn't even read them. Just picked them up to try to get rich like a lot of people did. And of course, the crash. So, didn't quite work out like I planned it to work out, but, did leave me sour here for comics for a while. Still loved the comic books themselves, the characters, the mythology, and everything else, the history. But I used a different medium to view those, which was the shows X-Men and so on. So that's how my comic book career started here. Ended in the late 90s when of course the crash hit full bore there, and discovered women. So once I got married, time went by, I had some kids, and now it's scoot up here to 2010. Got back into the saddle again. My brother was dabbing into reading a lot of comics and was telling me about some of the stories here, Planet Hulk and all these other things, The Killing Joke, and they just seemed really cool. So I picked up a few books that I'd love to read that seemed like great reads here, because again, I still love the characters themselves. But for the first time, I was actually opening these books up and reading them. Still treated them with kid gloves. Want to keep them as near mint as possible, because again, my collector side wanted to make sure that I kept the integrity of these books. But at the same time, I was enjoying these because these books were awesome. The stories are just ridiculous right now. So that started me up again in collecting. But now it was a different way I was collecting. I was collecting things that I like to read. I had a pull list and actually reading these books that were in my library instead of just collecting and hoarding them all up. In the process, I sold a lot of my books that I collected in the 90s, gave them away, sold them. Again, they were worth almost nothing, so I gave up a lot of these books. Still kept my Superman 75 for sentimental value, but again, it's just, my renaissance, if you will, here of collecting comics. So that happened, still in the swing, but also adding a little bit of collector to it. I'm still collecting my Silver Age, a little bit of Golden Age, some Bronze Age, focusing on first appearances and key issues where certain things happen. So hope that gives you a little rundown of my origin story, and let me go over a few books here that I have. Now, since I just showed you guys in my last video the first Star-Lord here, Marvel Preview Presents number 4, that book was actually a huge book. It was a comic magazine size book, if you will. Let me actually get through it here. I still have it. Of course I still have it, but in my library here, I have big books here. This is a magazine-sized book. When I purchased it, I didn't expect it to be. I thought I saw that in the video, or showing me the pictures here when I purchased this. But again, Marvel Preview Presents, all these things are magazine-sized. So if you purchase this book, if you haven't already, expect to have a magazine size bag and board ready, because again, the conventional, not even the Silver Age or Golden Age, will fit this book. It's got to be magazine size. As you can see, it takes up all the room. One that's not quite magazine size, but is still pretty big, is Ninja Turtles #1. This book here is not quite Silver Age, not Golden Age, kind of more Golden Age, but I wanted to give a little bit more room here to the book. So I put in a magazine bag and board. As you can see, still leaves some room at the top, barely at the top actually. It's like even with the cardboard there. But this is the biggest bag and board I have. So again, magazine size. So here you go. This is not a first print, this is a third print. This is what my budget could afford here, third print. I'm very happy with it. But it's, again, I just want to get my hands on the first appearance here of the Ninja Turtles, and was able to do so. You can see that there. And the third one that I'll show you here today is going to be the another first appearance, but again, another magazine-sized comic book. This is Captain Britain #4 from 1976, December 76 to be honest. First appearance of Psylocke. So this was in the pages here of Captain Britain #8, 10 pence, I think that's what they're called here in England. But there it is. All right, it's one of the books that first magazine-sized comic book that I purchased, and yeah, learned pretty quick that these things don't fit just anything. All right, so again, see your local retailer, look for magazine size, and hopefully they were able to accommodate you. Again, I just recently got back from California, back home finally, and loving the snow, but loving doing these videos as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Have a safe and happy New Year's Eve, and see you guys on the flip side, 2015, all right? Thank you for watching. Have a good one.